Once you've decided what the item that you're cataloging is about, you'll need to assign the appropriate subject headings in order to express this subject. That means that you'll need to check the term you're thinking of against the Library of Congress subject headings. And you can do this by either using the print version in the Red Books or the Library of Congress Authority's website. And we've been looking at both of these options throughout the course of this class. And so either you'll discover that the term you're thinking of is an authorized heading, or you can use the cross-references to determine what the heading is that you should use. Now there are some things to keep in mind when you're assigning headings, and we've kind of touched on this before, but remember that the subject headings should represent significant components of the work and be things that your users would be interested in finding in this work. And so kind of a good rule of thumb is that your subject headings should represent topics that take up at least 20% of the book. And we've talked about this before also, but remember that the order of the subject headings is important. The first heading indicates that it's the primary topic of the book, and it's what the call number is based on. If you can't capture the whole concept of a book in one particular heading, you can go ahead and capture the main concept in the first two headings, but generally the order of headings is important. Another thing to keep in mind when you're assigning headings is that you should use as specific a heading as possible. So if you have a book that's about forks and not knives and spoons, you might be deciding between using forks and the broader term flatware, but if your book really is just about forks, then you want to go with the most specific term possible. To use another example, if you have a book that's just about Chevy trucks, and you see that there's an option for Chevrolet trucks, and the broader term is trucks, you do want to go with the most specific term possible, so you would choose Chevrolet trucks. So keep in mind that you should be aware of your term's position in the overall hierarchy, and try to use the most specific term possible.